Welcome to Spotlight. This is Pastor Dan, and an honor to be with you again today. We've been looking at all sides of how to kind of observe God's love in nature. And I'm going to look at miracles. Now, we're not going to solve miracles in 6 minutes here today. But can we say that there are times when it does seem that God had a moment in our life and something happened, and you'll say, it's not a slam dunk, it's not absolutely obvious, but I think that was God. It just kind of stuck out a little bit. And why not? I want to say we have to be careful about expecting miracles all the time. We have to be careful about demanding it. And maybe there are not that many that are just really slam dunk. God doesn't want to be so obvious that now people have to believe. So he does enough to get you to believe and support your belief, but not enough to force you to believe, coerce your belief. So I talk about God working in the shadows, but he's working. And if you are able to look into the shadows and say, I think maybe that was God. So we have those things happen. Now, we want to be careful about these crazy. I had to go to the post office, and I was late, and I said, God, help me find a parking spot. I went around 8 times, and sure enough, there one opened up. Thank you, God. Well, that's ridiculous. So I don't know how much time God is spending and moving other people's cars out so you can get in to a parking spot. But I'll tell you one. I had to eat with a group of people after church one day, and we were far from home, so had to go out to eat. And so, but I was delayed. I had to tell people, I think some of them waited an hour. My family waited an hour for me to get there. So finally, I get away from whoever held me up, and I walk into the door of this restaurant an hour after I had planned to be there. And another lady that I know was in line with me. She didn't come often, but she came once in a while. I had quite a few family members in my church. I was going to go to the Philippines the next night. We had a large group going, and I was $3,000 or $4,000 short from being able to pay for what we needed to pay for over there. And so we had scheduled a big event that night, Saturday night, with music and food and I think Filipino cultural dancing and all that. And they were hoping to raise the $4,000 from that program. And I said to this lady, you going to come tonight? She's Filipino. And she says, no, I can't come tonight. But she whispers to me so her husband can't hear, I'll give you $500 if you don't tell my husband. He wasn't a member at all. Good guy, but not church person. And so I said, I'll not tell anybody. Yeah, I'll take 500. We went on down the cafeteria line where we were, buffet. She whispers to me, I'll give you 1,000. But don't tell my sister. Don't tell my husband. I said, we need it. When can you give it to me? I can give it to you right here. I have my checkbook with me. I went to my table. A little later, she came over, handed me a check for $1,000. And she said, my husband and I usually go to this chain. It's called Soup Plantation. It's closed now. But the one we usually go to, we got there and it was closed, so we came here second. We were at a restaurant where I came an hour late. She came from another restaurant out of thousands of restaurants in Orange County, California, and she has to go to a secondary choice and walks in the door exactly at the time. If she had been already in the restaurant sitting at another table, I would never have known, never gotten $1,000, never would have made it on that trip. I said, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I needed that. Told the story that night without letting anybody, the sister know, a couple of people. I said, I think God stepped in today and helped me get this money. So there are moments that are miracles that you just say, wow. Doesn't happen every day. You can't expect it all the time, but we're thankful when they come. You need money, and all of a sudden, money comes in the mail, or you get your refund check, or some insurance I've been paying for 20 years. They give you a rebate, and all of a sudden I got a check for $5,000 right when I needed it. Wow, God! I was raising money at the end of December here a few weeks ago. went somewhere where this man often gives. I gave more than usual, but we're talking and just kind of finishing up our little deal, and wrote a check to me. And his nephew walks in. He has given maybe $1,000 a couple times. But he said, Pastor Dan, I heard your voice. I didn't go to his office. I didn't know he was there. I don't usually solicit him. He's almost never given. But he says, I know what you're here for at the end of the year. And I got my checkbook and I want to give you. And he gave me a chunk of money that is going to fund a lot of evangelism in the Philippines. He heard my voice. What if I hadn't gone right then? I don't know the answer to all that. But I think most of us from faith would say that when we look back at our life, there have been moments that it seemed as if God had stepped in his own quiet shadow way, and the love of God, and he protected us. He helped us get through a difficult time. He found a way to unlock a difficult situation. And God is a God of love from events that happen in our life that just seem to have the stamp of God upon them from the point of faith. This is Spotlight. Hope you'll be with us next week. God bless. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight.